Funding now on Indiegogo, it's Shadowbinders, our second chance offer to get 2 hardcovers of our classic webcomic delivered to your door. Steampunk, fantasy, and romantic comedy from Clownfish Comics. Go to Indiegogo, check out the link in the description below. Now on with the video. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
Another day, another dumb article about The Last Jedi.
Yes, because you have to. We've been telling you this. This just proves it. This just proves it. They cannot let The Last Jedi go. It's like this big push for The Last Jedi again.
Yeah.
This just proves it.
What is going on? So now the media is trying to tie The Last Jedi to WandaVision, saying that WandaVision was basically The Last Jedi of the MCU.
No.
Lots of people disagreeing. There are actually other headlines disagreeing. I'm going to fiercely disagree because the difference between WandaVision and The Last Jedi is one of them fixed a character that was lacking
and still kept it respectful to the whole universe it's part of.
Right, and the other one destroyed an iconic character.
And it's completely tied up all the loose ends for no particular reason whatsoever.
So we're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about WandaVision spoilers. If you have not seen the season finale of WandaVision, you don't want to be spoiled, now is the time to tune out. Before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 181,000 subs. Hoping for 200,000 soon. Thank you for the support. And so WandaVision has come and gone. And I actually did kind of a 180 on my opinion of it. I didn't care for the first couple episodes.
No, I think that's what it is. I think the first couple episodes were slow and they were trying to push the shtick too much on that. And then when it actually got into the story, then it got really good, which is why I kept saying, you might want to wait to watch this in a chunk when you can watch several at once or all of it at once. I think you'd be more interested than having to wait a week.
Yeah, so actually by the end, the halfway point, I was like, okay, I'm really feeling this. I did like when they went to the color episode, when they introduced Monica, and I thought that it got better, and then we started to see what was actually going on. I mean, there were a lot of theories, and that's what we're going to talk about, or that's what this article talks about, is all these fan theories that didn't happen, but that's not the same as The Last Jedi. There were a lot of fan theories about what would happen after The Force Awakens, most of them better than what actually happened in The Last Jedi. But the key difference is WandaVision was a deliberate retcon to improve an existing character in the MCU.
To make her what she should have been, because she was the strongest. And we've established that now. Yeah. Which anybody who followed the comics already knew that.
Right. So, spoiler, we already warned you. By the end of WandaVision, we finally get the Scarlet Witch as she should be. They used WandaVision to retcon this woefully nerfed character.
Yeah, they really nerfed her big time.
I hated what they did with Wanda Maximoff in the Avengers movies. Now, granted, we were dealing with movies, so there's only so much room for so many characters. But her origin, beyond the fact that she wasn't a mutant, which I guess they did away with in the comics anyway, but her origin was lame. She got her powers from one of the Infinity Stones. And beyond that, her power level, she basically just ran around and shot red fireballs.
Right, for no reason. Oh, she could control your mind. And
kind
that's
of.
About it. Yes,
kind of.
Yeah.
Not the Scarlet Witch. Not one of the most powerful characters ever introduced to Marvel Comics.
If not the most powerful character.
She is the most powerful Avenger. Sorry, Carol Danvers, you're going to have to get the hell out of here. And we saw it in the movie. So I knew they were planning something with Wanda because in Endgame, we actually saw her take on Thanos and almost beat him. So it was about damn time. But yeah, this whole series was to retcon the Scarlet Witch.
I just want to point out that, of course, the strongest character in the MCU would be a ginger.
Yes.
I'm just pointing that out there. So, of course, we're going to have to probably change that, make her black next time. But,
when she resets the universe. So that is the difference. Now, The Last Jedi also retconned a character, but they turned Luke Skywalker into a complete pussy. Okay, so there are
There's a huge difference.
Huge difference. This, it may not, the fan theories may not have panned out. They had Mephisto and all this other stuff that, people thought. I thought that would have made the show too crowded, but.
It might have been, but here, there were things that were in there that, it is kind of weird. Why would you make the wallpaper look like his silhouette? Why would you have, like, the little Mephistos on the pillars?
Yeah.
I think they're not done with that yet. I think there's something coming with that yet.
Yeah, they might save him for a movie.
I'm wondering, the Multiverse of Madness or something.
Yeah.
I do not think they're done with that yet.
But again, the night and day difference, a lot of people calling this out, but why everything has to be tied to The Last Jedi. Basically,
I know, right?
They're not going to stop defending The Last Jedi. And they're like, well, if you like WandaVision, then why don't you like The Last Jedi? It's basically the same thing.
Well, it's like they're doing anything they could find to tie it together. Like, you could say, hey, I like jeans better than shorts. That's because of The Last Jedi. It's ridiculous. They are just going out of their way to bring The Last Jedi up every chance they get. It's really sad and pathetic, actually.
I don't understand. They cannot stand it. There are certain journalists that cannot stand that the vast majority of fans fucking hated The Last Jedi.
Sorry.
And it destroyed the Star Wars franchise for a couple of years until they, guess what, came along with The Mandalorian. And guess what? They retconned Luke Skywalker again by giving us proper Luke that people wanted.
But now people aren't going to watch The Mandalorian anymore because they fired Gina Carano. So
So, they will not let this go. So, this does feel like there's some strings being pulled behind the scenes. It was Agatha all along. It was Rian all along. It was Rian all along. Pulling strings to try to get interest in this movie, or at least the public perception, to be better so Rian Johnson can get his trilogy. It's very weird because, again, the two could not be more different. One destroyed a classic character, and one rightfully retconned the MCU version of the character to make her more like her comic book incarnation.
One was a fixing and one was a destroying. There's a difference.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. So here we go with Inverse. For all the uproar, the 2017 movie The Last Jedi still stirs for certain fans. One thing is it isn't dishonest. The movie laid bare at several points its thematic thesis. Your expectations are not canon.
Says the person whining about WandaVision.
Yeah, right? So basically what this whole article is, and I did go through it, the whole article's premise is that they're the same because fans had a lot of theories and they turned out to be a bunch of bunk.
The difference was the fan theories on WandaVision were, well, one, it was wrapped up faster. But two, it wasn't like what you got with The Last Jedi, where The Last Jedi had a bunch of things set up that were coming from The Force Awakens that Rian Johnson went and just destroyed for no damn good reason and tied up or destroyed all the threads moving forward. To the place they had to bring Palpatine back for no damn reason in the third movie just to have a plot because he kind of tied it all up and destroyed it all. There's a difference.
So they're saying that, The Last Jedi turned Star Wars on its ear, and they said, well, WandaVision did the same thing. It flipped the channel.
No, it didn't.
It gave us that. Look,
in what way?
Because the fan theories didn't happen. That happens.
Some of them did, though.
Every effing movie.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. And I'm still not thinking Mephisto's out. We do know that they're going to be getting the Fantastic Four into it. Disney's already pretty much said so. So, it's going to happen eventually. Who cares? They never said who the astrophysicist was.
No, they didn't. I think they're setting up Phase 4. I have major apprehensions about Phase 4. But the fact that they were willing to go back and fix. It's a complete retcon. They're like, oh yeah, I know we said before that she got her powers from the Mind Stone, but she already had the power. It just, magnified her power. I'm like, oh, so they're willing to admit that they fucked up the Scarlet Witch.
They said it would have disappeared, but because it was there, it magnified it. Yeah, and that's what turned her into the Scarlet Witch the whole way.
Right.
Which makes sense. But, it's not the exact same source material we had before, but they didn't do her character a disservice and ruin her.
No.
And, make her suck, nasty green milk out of someone, some animal's udder.
And I get those teeth.
Yeah. They didn't have her do a bunch of stuff that wouldn't be in character for her. It all made sense. And with all the loss she has, it actually made sense. So I don't know where they're getting this idea from. I think it's just what can we use to write an article to get hits.
About The Last Jedi. Again, for whatever reason.
What's popular? WandaVision. Connect it somehow.
Yeah.
WandaVision.
I mean, I can't believe that they're taking these two, very, very different things. One ruined a character, one fixed a character. And I'm sorry, by the end of WandaVision, Wanda comes out a better character all the way around than just some woman that shoots red fireballs, and is like a sidekick to Captain America or whatever.
Right, because and then plus she's strong too, not just for her powers, but the fact that how many of you, even if it was not it was imaginary, how many of you would give up your family?
Yeah.
To save everybody else. I mean, some people would and some people wouldn't. And, even though she, they're not real, she could have kept that, but she knew it wasn't real. So she sacrificed everything she had. And that there was a lot of really, really big positives to the show. I don't understand why they're trying to drag it down with The Last Jedi.
I think WandaVision, for the most part, now there are a lot of people out there who didn't like it, but for the most part, I think it's had a pretty positive reaction from Marvel fans. Because there were some things they got in there. They got Vision Quest in there. I never thought I'd see that in the MCU. We actually fixed the Scarlet Witch. I'm shocked they did that. They were willing to walk back a stupid miscalculation. And, but it's not the same thing because, again, one fixed a character, one destroyed a character. Just because the fan theories didn't hold water doesn't mean that, it was the same thing.
How long does this go on for?
Oh, it goes on and on and on. That's basically... So here's how it ends. The Last Jedi told its story whole and complete from beginning to end while still being conscious of the storyteller in line.
No, it didn't!
No, it didn't. They made it up as they went. Colin Trevorrow... No. I was going to say, this is such bullshit. Colin Trevorrow's episode 9 was so radically different from The Rise of Skywalker, and they did not have an episode 9 planned.
Well, not just that. Everything that was given to him and the major plot, usually, like I said, when you lay it out, this is going to be the overarching story and the plot points. Everything that was set up in the first movie, he either destroyed or wrapped up in the second one. There was nothing else to move on with. Who's Snoke? Doesn't matter. He's dead. Who's Rey? She's a nobody.
Yeah.
There was like nothing moving on. Everything that was supposed to be moving on, he wrapped up or destroyed. So that's a load of shit. And this is, here's another thing. They all keep saying this next thing. Oh, after Rian Johnson had it, he left plenty to pass off. We saw it on the Twitter thing.
Yeah.
We've seen it in 2 or 3 other articles in this. This is about Rian Johnson campaigning to get his damn trilogy. Because it's awfully odd they keep having the exact same talking points.
Bullet points. Like somebody was just handing them, hey, do an article. What's trending? WandaVision. Do an artitle about The Last Jedi, but tie it to WandaVision.
Your next will be an article about The Last Jedi tied into the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I love this last sentence or two. The Last Jedi did not give its audience a bowl of frosting they thought they wanted. It did something that WandaVision went on to emulate years later. It gave us something we didn't know we needed, something we still need, something we will always need, a story about hope against overwhelming odds.
That was the entire Star Wars franchise. The whole point of it was hope. They established it in A New Hope. At first Star Wars, the whole point was it was always about hope. That was the thing. I'm assuming this person isn't very old. It wasn't around because that was kind of the whole point. And even in the they made sure they got that whole point across again. Even in Rogue One.
Yeah.
They had Leia saying about hope.
But the thing is that you're lying because The Last Jedi did not give its audience the bowl of frosting they thought they wanted. They wanted proper Luke Skywalker to make a return.
No, it gave him a bowl of shit. Yeah, give him milk.
A bowl of green milk with some shit floating in it. WandaVision fixed the Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
It literally gave comics fans, maybe not casual MCU fans, but it gave comic book fans a proper MCU version of the Scarlet Witch.
And beyond that, it gave fans Monica Rambeau, which they kept asking for.
Yes.
Contrary to this whole racist load of shit they keep trying to spin, fans have been asking for Monica Rambeau. They wanted her over Carol Danvers. They have been asking for her. Right? Oh, you had to put up. You were going to go to the same place. I didn't even know that. And this basically gave the fans what they wanted, which was Monica Rambeau. And they gave them a good version of Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, you put Teyonah Parris next to Brie Larson. I'm sorry, she blows her out of the room.
Yeah, she's really good. And I loved her.
So now the multi-million-dollar question is, would Disney be so brave as to boot Brie Larson and bring in Teyonah Parris as Captain Marvel?
If they were smart, they were. And they could also even leverage it to their benefit and saying, look, we're trying to make sure we're more inclusive.
Yeah.
And you can give fans what they want, and you can come out, white gloves clean, saying that you did it, for inclusion reasons, because you want to leverage every chance you get. This is one choice you could do that people would actually like.
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up reading comics, Monica Rambeau was Captain Marvel. There was no Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel until like 10 years ago. That's when they decided to make her Captain Marvel. She was always Ms. Marvel.
That's because they're trying to push these new character agendas they have over Marvel that aren't selling in comic form. They're trying to put them into the big screen to think, well, if we make them in movie characters, then people will buy the comics. Probably not.
Yeah, so that's what's going on, and they just kind of like jumped at the Carol Danvers, the newer version of Carol Danvers. Old Carol Danvers was okay, but then she got knocked on her ass by Rogue. Now, if they keep Brie Larson around long enough to get knocked on her ass by Rogue whenever they bring the X-Men into the MCU, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and then they could just make, Monica Rambeau be the new Captain Marvel. But, and like I said, they could do it, and they can come out with their hands completely clean. Because people would be like, oh, these did it for inclusion reasons.
We wanted to make sure that since she's going to be the leader of the Avengers, because, we nerfed Captain America, since she's going to be the leader of the Avengers, we wanted to make sure we had proper representation. And they already built her up to be a leader and somebody to take charge. I'm just saying.
They're already sending her about the space.
They could very easily just be
I did like her quite a bit.
Yeah, she was good. Way better than Brie Larson.
Yeah, at least she had personality.
Yeah, right?
Could act.
So the backlash to this idiotic article is getting its own articles.
Which is funny. I might have to do an article too.
Yeah, sorry, no, WandaVision is not the Last Jedi of the MCU.
No.
And it's basically the points that we made that, like, one destroyed a character, the other one expanded upon and fixed a character. And just because the expectations were subverted, one completely destroyed any expectation, and the other one just, maybe some fan theories didn't come true or whatever. But expectation and speculation are not the same. WandaVision was not beholden to the same level of expectation as was The Last Jedi. That's what made the show and its finale so satisfying. Speculation made it fun. To the contrary, for a great many fans, expectation was why The Last Jedi failed. Comparing the two is, as they say, like comparing apples
I agree
and oranges.
with you.
Yeah, I agree. So there we go, guys.
JJ, good job.
Everything is about The Last Jedi. So,
it's
like
gonna
you
keep
said,
doing it. It's gonna keep going. Just watch. If you don't believe me, just keep watching these articles. You're gonna find them more and more trying to bring in Rian Johnson, Last Jedi, for no reason. It's been years, and all of a sudden he keeps coming up out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Wow, she really looks like one of the Olsen twins here.
Well, imagine that.
No,
she's her sister.
I know, but it's weird because like she doesn't really look like them, but then in this particular picture, she looks like Michelle. Anyway. We're going to wrap this one up?
Yes.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.